the expert wins.
All right, beautiful people. Hey, how are you feeling 1 out of 10? I just want to start with that. I know we had it on the comments here. 1 out of 10, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, Andrew?
I'm feeling good, brother. How about you?
But 1 out of 10, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling, actually today I'm feeling like a 9.5.
Let's go. Let's get that to a 10. I'm
about
also
you?
probably at a 9.5, but I'll point one up. Yeah, I'm at 9.6 right now. I'm feeling good.
Now I'm
fire.
9.75, bro.
We are talking about, guys, we are talking about something so important. It is the science of closing. How to get more people to say yes.
How to get the freaking money.
Be fun to say yes to.
Yeah.
We're gonna change the whole trajectory of some people's lives today, because the science of closing, sales, the negotiation tactics, the elements of closing is one of the most important topics that we can possibly cover on this show. And this is our first time we're having a full entire episode just on sales.
Now, I want to do a special shout out to my brother Leo.
Oh, right on.
Check this out. Look at that. When you put the slide deck up, he's figured out this system where we have, now I'm not sitting here straddling this table in the middle. We're now on 2 separate cameras looking straight at you, which is so cool. So I don't know how you did that, bro, but way to go.
We figured it out. We figured it out. We made it happen. Guys, we're practicing Kaizen every single day, getting 1% better on this show. It is our job for us to get 1% better
every
for you
day.
guys. And then it's your guys' job to show up every day to get 1% better for yourselves as well. So today we got some beautiful tea. We got some green tea brewing right now. We're excited. We're ready to go. But I just want to jump in.
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to talk about sales and making the money, but most importantly, type it in the chat. Selling is serving. Now, this was a big one for me. And we're going to talk a lot about this. But once I understood that selling is serving, when I have something that I believe in, I have a moral and ethical obligation to help others gain access to that thing. And when I realized selling is serving, my whole world opened up in a different way. So it's really what I want to show you guys a frame of today to make it easy for you to sell and fun to say yes to.
Sales is going to change your life wherever you are. Sales is not just selling a product or a service. It's also influence. It's also relationships. It's also getting people to understand your ideas.
Right.
It's how you sell your ideas. You sell your thoughts. Everything is sales. Sales is influence. It's not this, what is the word? Manipulation, right? A lot of people see things as manipulation, but really it's influence.
Yeah.
Because if we can change someone's life, if something that we have for sale, something, a product or a service that can guide someone to the next level, exactly what you're saying, we have an ethical and moral obligation to sell it.
So let's take for a moment, imagine that your friend is very sick and you know a certain vitamin or a certain health regimen that can help them get well. Now, what kind of friend would we be if we had a friend who was sick and we knew exactly what it took for them to get well and we just didn't tell them? We said, gosh, what if they think I'm trying to sell them something? And that was my belief around sales for so long. And then I realized, wait a second, I need to just sell and serve the things that I know to be good and helpful. If I truly know this can help somebody, now I have no challenge offering to assist them with this thing. So that's a major game changer.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the 8 elements of getting to the yes. And we've put this together in a very distinct way in the format that me and Andrew have learned, right? Sales equals leadership. Building rapport fast, find the real root problem of what the person is going through. We're going to go over framing. We're going to go over the power of questions. Guys, this is going to be a masterclass of sales, closing, negotiations, and getting to the money. Type it in the chat, GTFM.
Get the freaking money.
That's what today's going to be all about. So let's dive in. I want to give you guys a couple shout outs. We got Bill.
What's up, Bill?
We got Marlon.
Marlon.
What's up, Randy?
Randy, good to see you.
Hello, Jerry says, show me the money. Miss Elizabeth. Tammy is here. Bill is here. Roberta is here. Miss Les is here.
Such a good
Who else
group.
do we have?
What's up, Les?
Someone's name is, are miracles real or fairy
I
tales?
think that's Randy's
They
other
are
account
real.
because that looks like Randy.
Good. Okay. It's good to see you guys. GTFM. That's what we're covering. Number 1, type it in the chat, everyone. Type it nice, loud, proud, all caps in the chat. Sales equals leadership.
Sales equals leadership. This is important. This was a game changer. When we start understanding it's our calling in order to serve at the highest level, and for anyone to be leader of all, there must be servant of all, Jesus said. And to learn that sales is leadership, what does that mean to you?
So everybody goes through problems in their lives. And as people who can create a product or sell a product or can help someone solve their problem, we must guide them to make that purchase decision. So I think of it like a firefighter, right? A firefighter sees a house burning, but if they hesitate to act, then the fire spreads.
Yep.
If you hesitate to sell, then your prospect's problem spreads, and you don't want that. You want to make sure that you can develop the elements of getting to the yes. You can develop the strategies to get someone to make a decision, to make a buying decision so that you can help them. And that's really what sales is. That's really what leadership is too, is guiding someone to a proper path or a path that will help them.
I think when we want to serve at the highest level and we associate that with our ability to get someone to see their path forward. Because what we're doing when we sell things is we're not really selling the thing. We're selling the solution. When I buy a house, I'm not selling someone on the fact of selling me a house. I'm selling someone on the fact that they can sell their house hassle-free. Selling someone on the fact that they can net more money over time if I do owner financing. So being certain makes your sales process easy. So we talk about being fun to say yes to. People buy from people who are 100% confident in what they're selling.
That's big.
Imagine that I said to Leo, this tea is kind of okay. Smells okay. You want to try it? Right? Probably not very excited about drinking the tea. But imagine I take a sip and I say, Leo, this is the most incredible tea I've ever tasted. Second only into the smoky Japan tea. Dude, you got to try a drink of this. Cheers. Now, who realizes Leo's going to be much more excited about now taking a drink of this tea that I just sold him on because I had a drink and I liked it. Now, immediately, I said, you got to try this, bro, because I am certain Leo is sold. And of course, we'll get into this later, but he has trust. We've known each other for many years. So very important to be certain in what you're selling. If you're not certain in what you're selling, either get more information about it so you can be, or change strategies of what you're selling.
I got a challenge for every single one of you, including you, Andrew. Mm-hmm. Try saying this. Try saying, this is the best decision for you, and I'm going to tell you why.
This is the best decision for you. I'm going to tell you why.
And I'll say it with 10 times more conviction.
This is the best decision for you. And I'm going to tell you why.
I like that. That was good. That was good. I want you guys to try it.
That was my podcast.
It feels like Dora, but it's like, but this can make you millions of dollars. This is the best decision for you. And I'm going to tell you why. Say it with so much conviction. Keep saying it. And I just want you guys to practice. Type in the chat, conviction. If you can practice this, you get to understand your voice, your tonality, and your body language at a whole different level, because that is also leadership, right? Because there's so much more language than just voice, just vocal. There is your body, there is your tonality, there's the way that you present it. So this is the best decision for you, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. So try it out, and then as we keep going, guys, this is going to make more and more and more sense as to why sales equals leadership. Anything to cover on that before we go to number 2?
Yeah, as we are selling you, we're selling you on showing up at this show every day. Why? Because I believe it will lead to you being more confident, having a better life. I'm selling you on sticking around today until the end, because by the end of this show, you're going to have confidence to ask for the sell more concisely. You're going to be better at selling. And so, which means, by the way, better at serving. And I share that because every day we're either being sold on something and or selling someone on something. You're selling your kids on eating their vegetables. You're selling your partner on going to the dinner with you, right? And sell your wife, your husband on things all the time. And I share it that way because that's literally what we do in everyday life. So I used to have a resistance to not only asking for the sell, I believed, but also in buying things because I was like, what if I'm being sold? And now I realize selling equals serving, which type it in the chat means a trade of value. So I'm actually giddy about being sold. Leo's been selling me on the idea of going to Portugal. I'm pretty excited about getting sold on the idea of going to Portugal because we're going to have a lot of fun. And so as you get sold, I hope you get sold on realizing you can live the life you want way beyond your dreams if we can serve more people.
Absolutely. We're getting sold every single day. Every single day we're getting sold. We're going to a restaurant, when we're going for a drive, when someone texts you, when someone calls you, we're always getting sold. Sometimes we sell the idea of having a great day. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's gonna be a great day. You ready to have a great day? Maybe you don't have a great day right now, but I'll tell you why it's gonna be a great day. Right? We're alive. We got a dog downstairs who's awesome.
Yes.
We got food. We got chicken in the fridge.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of good things are happening. It's gonna be a great day. Sales is leadership, and when it comes to understanding how much we can do as individuals who understand both leadership and sales, those two together combined, you can change so many lives that I want you to make sure that you practice it every single day. The more you practice leadership, the better you become at sales. So this leads us to number 2. And number 2 is one that I had to learn over time, which is type it in the chat. Actually just type in rapport, RAPPORT. Type in rapport. Angie, feeling good?
Feeling good.
How's your day been so far?
So good.
Good? Tell me about what's been a win for the day?
Oh, win for the day. Had a good, healthy breakfast.
Good.
Knocked out a bunch of work. Woke up at like 4 something.
Okay.
And had a beautiful, relaxing time. Got to hang out and chat with my brother early in the morning. Good. Got to have a great time. Got a lot of work done and prepared for this incredible show. Now I'm hanging out with a lot of cool people.
How long did it take for you to make that breakfast? I know you talk a lot about breakfast, making breakfast, and all that goes into it. And you made a beautiful sweet potato egg breakfast this morning. It was really good with some bacon on top. How long does that take?
Like 15
minutes?
20 maybe.
How much is your time worth? How much is an hour of your time worth, Andrew?
When I'm in the business, last math I did, depends on what I'm doing.
Okay.
Now, in the business, in the real estate investing business, last I figured my time in that business alone was on average worth about $14,000 per hour.
14,000. What's the math? You do math better than me. So if you take 15 minutes of that hour, 14,000, what is that math?
The math is about $3,500.
$3,500. 15 minutes of cooking breakfast. $3,500 right there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this person I have.
Yeah.
All right. They cook the best meals.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's the same potato mash that you made. She makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name's Michelle Schlag, your
Yeah.
sister, but she's awesome.
Yeah,
but we could hire her to the house to cook for us for a lot less than $3,500.
I like that.
Are you
idea.
in?
I'm in.
Let's rock and roll. So that's at first was just building rapport. I asked him how he was doing. That's how I got to understand what he needed. Cooking breakfast was a big part of it. I found that out by not saying like, hey, how's your breakfast going?
Yeah.
For him to say, what are you talking about? Breakfast was good. Why are you asking? Yeah. Instead, I just asked him how his day was. How was your morning? What was going on? Yeah. I built a little bit of that rapport before. And of course, we have an incredible amount of rapport. But when you're first on the phone with someone who does not know who you are, the smallest thing you could do in the beginning is just ask, how are you doing? Like,
so powerful.
How are you today? Let's talk about that a little bit more, Andrew.
Yeah, the biggest thing is be genuine. When I ask how someone's doing, you ever had the person who's like, how you doing? And you're like, I'm good. And before you can finish your sentence, they're already cutting you off and going along to the next thing. So just remember, it's 80% listening and 20% asking or saying. So as you're asking questions, it's going to really come down to, what do you want? Type it in the chat. What do you want? Now, I talk about this a lot. Now, there's many ways to ask that question. What's holding you back? What do you most need right now? Like digging in, but it all comes down to asking people what they want. What's some ways we really start digging in, Leo?
So, first of all, trust being built in the first 5 minutes is so important, right? You talk a lot about building quick rapport.
Very fast.
And I do the same thing, right? Because you don't want to yap them up for 30 minutes. Right? You want to build rapport fast. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them what's going on. But we want to start with some deep questions. We want to dive in to find out what are they looking for. So some questions I'll ask is like, Andrew, what's a big challenge holding you back this year? What are some things going on?
Yeah.
Right. Of course, I had built rapport for that before because I imagine I hop on the phone. Hey, is this Andrew? Yeah. What's the biggest challenge you're going through right now?
Like, who the heck are you?
You wouldn't do that. You would build a little bit of rapport first where it makes sense because I'm guiding you. As a leader, I'm guiding you on a journey so I can find out what challenge you're going through so I can give you a solution. And then once you tell me things and I find out that you're going through a challenge of cooking breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know I have an incredible cook that can cook who wants to cook. And my question would be, what have you tried before that hasn't worked?
Yeah.
Have you tried hiring someone before? Right? Maybe you say no, maybe you say yes. And I'll ask you more questions like, how was that experience?
Yeah.
Like, tell me about that.
And it's a fun conversation the way you do it.
Yeah.
And I want to point that out because as you're mirroring the person you're talking to, you can hop on the phone. Let's say you're calling to buy a house for our real estate investors. You're calling to make a sale, do a deal. And some people, you can tell the moment they answer, like they're ready to get into the conversation, get through the conversation, get off the phone. Like,
that's right.
They're moving. So I'm going to mirror that. I'm going to go a little faster. Whereas someone else may be a little bit of a chat, like having a little more chatty conversation.
So let's talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I hop on the phone. All right. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Mr. Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going today?
Good, man. How you feeling?
Very good.
Good.
I'm feeling good. It's been a good day. I'm feeling good. Had a little bit of breakfast. You had breakfast today?
I did.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had eggs and bacon and sweet potatoes.
You cook it?
Yeah.
I like cooking, but ever since I got my cook, it's been a life changer for me.
Yeah?
How long you been cooking for?
Like a week.
Like a week.
Yeah.
How? Okay, I'm just saying this for my own thing because I remember I've been cooking for the past 3 years. It's taken a lot of my time away. You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
A lot of your time goes into working.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still cooking?
Yeah, I normally Uber, but it's this week I decided to go the healthy route.
It's been the healthy route. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I didn't want to go too far, but in the beginning, it's just matching his tonality.
Yeah.
Right? It's hey, how's it going? We're matching each other's vibe, and it's not that that's not normally how I am. However, if he starts the phone super slow and I say, hey, Mr. Andrew, how you doing? How you doing, man? You feeling good? Breakfast? You eat breakfast today? And he's gonna be like, what is going on?
Big, I need some of that.
Right. He's like, what kind of drugs do you want? However, I want to match the tonality of the other person. If they're coming off very slow, maybe they're a little bit older, I'm not gonna come gung-ho, super high energy. I'm gonna match the tone. And I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Seller, hey, Andrew, how's it going?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
It's a very good note. And by the way, guys, as you're hopping on calls or meeting people in person, just doing exactly what Leo said there, and a smile goes along the way. Even when you're on the phone, people can tell if you're smiling. Just smiling and having a fun conversation. That was picture perfect, brother. It goes such a long way. By the way, I have to note, I do think we need to get a better strainer for our tea.
I think it's great. I like it.
You like the extra tea
I do.
Leaves?
The extra tea leaves. I personally do. All right. So
Snack.
Type in the chat. I want you guys to get this 80-20. 80/20. Okay. So 80-20 is 80% listening, 20% talking, as Andrew was saying. What that means is I might ask a question and then it's just my job to listen. I'm just simply listening until there's another place for me to ask another question, which we'll go into in 3 more elements. So 80-20, so incredibly important. I see all you guys' comments in the chats and some questions too. We'll go into it. What's up, Kay? Hey, Tammy. What's up, Frankie? And Bill, as always, is commenting below. Are you ready for number 3?
I am ready. By the way, just so you guys know, we have 8 sales strategies, sales notes we're going through today. And as we go through each of these 8, it's going to be very important because number 8 is the one that I used to struggle with so much. And I see a lot of people struggling with it. So we're going to dive into this. So stick around until we talk about silence.
As you guys can see on the top right of each of these elements, it says 12, 3, 22. And you're like, Leo, Andrew, what's going on? How many of these are there? There's a lot. Me and Andrew have about 50 sales tactics that we use every single day on any given day. And we want to teach those all to you. So make sure at the end you are here. I want to go over number 10, which is really number 8 for you guys. Yeah. But as we continue to do this show, we want to plant more of these for you guys and give them to you. We want you to have this because this is what has given me and Andrew the financial prosperity that we have today, because we understand the number one skill being sales.
It's powerful.
So type it in the chat.
Find the real problem.
Get through the BS. Find the real problem. So what this means is that people do not buy products. They buy solutions to pain. If you don't uncover the pain, you won't close the sale.
The first objection is usually a load of crap.
Absolutely. So you want to get through the load of crap, and you have to have the awareness that sometimes buyers lie. And it's an okay thing. They might just not know what they want, right? Think about yourself as a buyer, as a consumer, when you are on the phone with someone, or you're at the store, or when someone comes up and say, hey, mister, can I help you? Right? What goes through your mind instantly? You might push back, and you might be a certain buyer that says, whoa, I don't want to be sold. Leave me alone. So the person on the other side of the phone is probably feeling that same vibe, that same energy. So you want to be able to assess how they're feeling. And that's why it's important, number 2, to build massive rapport, deep rapport fast. And then what me and Andrew are about to go into very deeply is, how do I find the root of the problem? Because that is where the sale will be created.
You know, Leo, I think this was something I used to let people breeze over all the time. When I was on the phone asking a question, you know, in my early days in the real estate investing business, I would ask someone, you know, why are you looking to sell? And it was so interesting because I remember people sometimes they would say, oh, I'm not desperate to sell when I asked that question. And I would say, cool, like no worries. And I remember so many times getting that answer, and I would let them off with that answer because I didn't understand how to dig deeper. I didn't understand what we're teaching right now.
Right.
And then those people, so many times, the ones who would say, I'm not desperate to sell in a defensive way, were often the ones who were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months on payments and sometimes in foreclosure. And so understanding what somebody is saying verbally, if it's not aligning with what they are saying in their body language and their tone, they may be another deeper challenge that they're facing. And I'm not going to dig deep by saying, oh, so you're in foreclosure, right? I'm going to dig deep by saying, got it. You know, no worries. A lot of the people we buy from are just looking to net more money. Like, you know, just tell me about the property. Yep. I'm going to keep going, keep growing until eventually we get back to the point. And then, well, yeah, I mean, I am 7 months behind on the payments, but I'm not desperate to sell. Got it. You know, now we are digging deep. We actually know the real challenge.
So then our job as leaders is to make them feel comfortable enough to trust us as the solution, trust us as the expert, trust us as the person that's going to guide them to the right path. And I might ask them, you know, what's stopping you from fixing that problem today?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on? Right? And you can tell in my tonality, I care, and I genuinely do care. And I have to utilize a tonality though.
And this is powerful because if you was just faking that, people can tell. But the fact you genuinely are a caring person trying to help them solve their problem, and if we are the best solution, then we're going to guide them to our solution. And if not, we're going to guide them to whatever the best solution is.
So as a leader, if we don't work on our tonality, we're not leading at the highest level.
Right.
Because if I don't work on my tonality, let's just call this as 4 years ago. You know, why aren't you fixing the problem now? Right? Why aren't you fixing the problem now?
Yeah.
Versus,
big difference.
You know, why are you not fixing the problem now? What's going on? You know, you're there, you're guiding them through, and that is our job, to really build this type of voice that's able to do that. Because you're able to guide people exactly where you need them to go. But it's these questions like, what is the biggest holdup? What is the thing that has been on your mind? What is on your mind? Guide them through. And as the expert, which we'll talk about in a moment here, as the expert, they're going to confide in you. They're going to trust you. They're going to realize this person is confident. This person has my best interest in mind. And I could tell them these things that will automatically lead to the sale if it is the right thing for them. If you decide, hey, this is going to be a good fit for you, and I'll tell you why.
And I think that is the powerful note there that comes back to selling is serving. Because I've had people many hundreds of times whose best option were to sell to us in the real estate business or in the mastermind that we operate, that sometimes people's best option has been to work with us and join a community of investors, like-minded people, and others who are growing their businesses, their brands, and everything around them. And so when that's the best solution, of course I'm going to guide them to that. I would be very unfair of me not to. And at the same time, I've had people at other times who have came to us and said, hey, I want to sell you my house. And I would dig in and find out their challenge. And I said, look, you're better off listing with a realtor, right? You're better off doing X. You're better off joining a coaching program that just gives you the information. You're not ready yet for this level of mastermind. Or whatever the case may be, I have no challenge directing them to the better thing. That's because of a heart of pure intent. Do I want to make a sale? Of course. Do I like money? Yeah, I enjoy making money. And plus, sales is kind of a game, so it's kind of fun. And at the same time, we're being authentic and saying, okay, do we have the best solution for this person? If the answer is yes, then it's our moral and ethical obligation to guide them to that outcome.
100%. You're exactly right with this, Andrew. And you taught me this so much, right? That when the person tells you their problem, they will always tell you the surface level, unless you've built a massive amount of rapport, which takes a couple of years, right? However, they're always going to give you a service level, but it's your job to dig deep down, right? It never really is what they say it is. They might tell you it's, let's just say someone who's needing to change their life. They're wanting to get coaching, for example.
Yeah.
This person might say, I just don't have time. I just don't have time. My question to them will be, where in your life has this impacted you? Where in your life have you found that you saying you don't have enough time has impacted your life? And I'm just there asking questions. I'm just curious. And I'll just ask them those questions. Go a little bit deeper. When you say you don't have time, what does that really mean? Like, what do you think it means? I used to say that I don't have a lot of time. And what I had found out, me personally, was that I really just didn't know how to manage my life. I didn't know how to manage the things I had going on. And I'm very careful with that because everyone has ego. And if you use the wrong wording, you can flare up someone's ego. You can flare up the person buying from you's ego, and that creates an absolute block. And we'll talk about that on another one. I know it's not one of our 8 elements on here, but that does lead me, though, to framing. You want to jump into that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Frame yourself as the expert or the guide.
I had someone tell me one day that positioning is absolutely everything. It was actually Tim. He's the one that taught me. Positioning is everything. Because I started selling when I was 16. Right? I really started selling when I was 8. I would buy candies, little chamoy candies, Mexican candies from the shop, and I would go buy them for $1. I had about $8. Boom, buy them up, and I'd double the price, and I'd come back with 16. I'd do it again and again and again and again.
Yeah, making that money.
I knew how to make money at 8 years old. Never sold drugs, though. Anyways, because I had learned these sales tactics really early, and then learning that positioning is everything, I was able at 18 years old to position myself as an expert in the real estate industry. And that was a very difficult thing to do because I had to get over the fact that I was too young. I had to get over that insecurity first.
Yeah.
However, positioning myself as someone who's not, I haven't done 500 deals, but I know someone who does.
Yeah.
I know someone who's done 500 deals. And that's exactly what I did. I positioned myself as someone who knows the expert, right? Andrew's, my business partner, has been doing this business for over 10 years, done over 500 deals. I'm just here as a helper. I'm actually here learning. I'm learning this process. But, myself, I am someone who continues. I do not stop. I'm going to find out everything how I can help you, sir.
Yeah.
Just can you tell me a little bit more about the property?
And that's so powerful because when you are the expert, or type this in the chat, borrowed credibility, you're partnered with, connected with. That's why masterminds are so important. When you're connected with the experts, when you're connected with the funding, you say, I can pay cash for your property, even if it's not your cash. Or when it comes to selling your product, maybe you're not the social media expert, but you know the person who is. You say, hey, my partner's been doing this social media thing for a decade. Borrowed credibility the reverse direction. My partner's had over 1 billion views online. And so we immediately start to play into our strengths and our superpowers. And dropping those credibility points subtly, I guess I would say, is a powerful thing. And I've had before, you mentioned ego earlier, I've had, in the case of real estate, maybe a real estate investor who owns a dozen rentals has a ego with me. It says, well, how many of these have you done? Asking me a question to give pushback to try to intimidate or use ego, right? And not in a inquiring way, but in an egotistical way. Mm-hmm. And I'll usually chuckle and say, well, a few hundred. And so doing something that drops subtle messages of your credibility, right? Of working it into the conversation. Yeah, I've been hosting events and training other people, other business owners for the last 9 years now.
So what you're saying, Andrew, is to subtly drop some of these hints.
Yes.
Versus just saying, hi, I'm Andrew. I've done over 500 deals on blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
You're saying have a conversation, talk about your day, talk about the situation you're in, stay in the close, but drop it in.
Exactly
every now
right.
And then. Boom, boom, boom. Very good.
Powerful.
I went to the Men's Warehouse yesterday to get a suit, and 2 people came up to me and was just like, hey, what can I get you? Right. And at first I was like, whoa, let me just look around for a little bit. And then one person was like, hey, I've been here for a couple years. I just help guys like you, find what they need. Like, can I help you try a couple things on? I was like, okay. Yeah. Because he started with a little bit of credibility. He's not just a salesperson. He helps people find the suit they need and then tailor it up. So I was a lot more comfortable there. So I went through, got the suit I wanted, and then the tailor came out, and I felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. And the alterations was, for some reason, just as expensive as the suit.
Of course.
But when they came, it was the simplest thing. They positioned themselves as an expert. They've been tailoring for 8 years. They'll make it look great. And he did the whole pin thing. And I was like, whoa, this looks really cool.
Yeah.
That made me so comfortable to make that purchase because that was the expert. They positioned themselves as the expert rather than being a salesperson that's just figuring it out for you.
Yeah.
It's so important to do that in whatever industry you're in, whether you're in fitness, whether you're in coaching, whether you are an agency, whether you're in real estate, position yourself as the expert or as close to the expert as possible by borrowing credibility.
And something very powerful and very attractive, frankly, is just being authentic. The guy who had been doing it a couple of years, you mentioned, he was just authentic. I've been doing this a couple of years helping guys like you. And that is such a powerful positioning, because when you go from salesperson, please, please, please buy from me, to a expert or guide who is helping them get to where they want to go, and it's authentic, oh my goodness, everything changes.
Never beg. Before we move on to the next thing, I want to go over this important topic of speaking with authority.
This is good.
This is the subtle fact, actually not even the incredible fact that people buy confidence. The way you talk, your body language, your tone, your certainty, it all matters. So when you're speaking with authority, you want to make sure to utilize that as a practice. Actually, you learning how to speak will improve your life substantially because it will make you more money. It will make you more sales. When you make more sales, you're going to get more confident. When you're more confident, everything else gets better and you make more sales because of it.
Right.
So if you can speak with authority by just speaking with 20% more volume and about 20% more optimism, that starts you on that route of speaking with authority.
That's powerful.
Most people, though, in the beginning had something happen to them in childhood that didn't allow them to fully speak up.
Or started trying to sell and somebody told you no.
Rejection, failure, these things make you more shy, make you more timid, make you not a great salesperson. Because in order to sell through all these different elements that we're going over, these 8 elements, it requires authority. Oh, I'm not even showing it. It requires authority. Leadership requires authority. Building rapport requires that type of confidence to say, hey, I can ask you how you're doing, how your day is. I can guide you in that way. Finding the real problem, going to the root takes authority.
Right.
How, Andrew, do we build this type of authority? Before we move forward to the power of questions, how do we build authority?
There is 2 major ways that I'm going to talk about. I think it was Zig Ziglar said, if they like you, they'll talk to you. If they trust you, they'll buy from you. And trust comes from authority. Authority can be online brand. It can be, you've seen, for example, some of you have not met us in person yet, but you've seen us online, and so there's a level of authority there. Oh my gosh, these guys have done hundreds of real estate deals, run multiple
You don't
businesses.
even know if we're wearing pants.
You'll never know. And so as you're looking and saying, okay, I trust these guys because there's a level of authority. Another thing is, when you're on the phone, it is the way you talk. Imagine, and going back to a real estate example, and we can do this in any type of sales strategy. But imagine I call somebody and say, I was calling and seeing if you might be interested in selling me your house. Big difference between, hey, my name's Andrew, and I was calling about buying your house on 123 Main Street. I have a couple questions. Big difference, right? Because in one, I have the tone of authority because myself or someone I know, in this case, me, has done hundreds and hundreds of deals. So I can use that authority or borrow that credibility if you need to borrow that credibility.
Which you guys don't have to do 10 years of real estate. You don't have to do 10 years of anything to have authority.
Oh, that's powerful.
You can start to do it with borrowed credibility, or even put your confidence, guys, put your confidence not on your bank account. Put your confidence on your values and the fact that you're going to do whatever it takes to serve this person. Because if you can start to put your confidence there, like I did when I was 18 and didn't have any money, I was able to put it on 2 things. I was able to put it on borrowed credibility. Andrew had done over 500 deals. That's what gave me the ability to buy my first 12 houses, was because I said, I have a partner who's done over 500 and we're going to help you. That's what got me the ability to do that. On the other side of the authority, the reason I was able to speak with so much conviction was because I knew the ethics that I had. And if I'm on the phone with you, I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah, that's deep.
Every cell of my body knew that. So that comes with authority. Me and Andrew being on this show, we know what we've been through. We speak through experience. We speak through our leadership on a daily basis. And we read and we work so incredibly hard. That's why we speak with so much authority. There's times where there's a topic where I might not know so much and you might hear it in my voice. But most of the time, I know I'm going to do the best I can to serve. That's why you might not hear me kind of go through, hey, this is more of an Andrew topic than a Leo topic. But I'm also here with Andrew. I'm borrowing that credibility and saying, hey, I might not have done 500 deals, but I've done 34.
And I think for all of us, finding our superpower, because I remember in the beginning when you very first made a offer years ago to help people grow their social medias. I didn't know how to do social media. I knew how to go buy houses, go get checks, but I didn't know social media. So understand that you have areas of expertise that are powerful, and your ability to help people grow on social media didn't mean that you needed to have $1 million at your bank account at the time.
Right.
It meant you knew how to get people to check you out on social media.
That's right.
And so understanding your superpower, that comes back to being authentic.
100%. We could do a whole episode on this, on just building confidence and building
Time
that
is
type of
flying
authority.
by
It is.
today.
We got to move on.
Yeah.
If you guys are loving this, type in the chat yes. I just want to know, this is a new format for us where we just kind of give our sauce away. This is what we train our team. This is what we train our students on. Of course, we're only giving the little tidbits here, and our students get to work with us one-on-one or in a group. However, if this is valuable, if this is like, whoa, guys, this is some really good stuff, this could make me, an additional 10K, 20K, 30K,
Yeah.
then type in the chat yes. We just want to know. It's like instant feedback. But 8 elements to the yes. We've gone over 4. We're going to go over the 5th one right now, guys, which is the power of questions. Andrew, you want to start it off?
Yes, if you'd like me to.
Yep, all you.
So selling is not telling, it's asking. And this was such a game changer for me. When it comes to asking someone the right questions, which guides them to their desired outcome, then selling is easy because I provide the solution. If I know someone wants to increase their business and I look at their business and I know immediately 2 changes. Les, who's on here? I remember was at the Thrive event, Thrive weekend the other day, and went through her offer, and she was incredible, delivering so much value to her students and personal training. And I know how important that is to people. And I know the results she delivers to people. And I said, you've got to double your price. And immediately she went home and did it. And so I look at that and I say, okay, I look at businesses and know immediately, how can someone double their income? How can someone increase their revenue, increase their sales through maybe non-traditional revenue streams, or getting better at asking questions? So by asking questions, immediately I determine an outcome that it is progressing them toward where they want to go. What that means is I know nothing about their business until I ask questions, and I can't solve problems that I don't know anything about.
That's why scripts are important, but they're not everything.
Right.
A lot of people think I just need the perfect script. I just need the perfect script. But really, all you need is to find out their problems. All you need to do is ask the right questions in the right tone, in the right voice, and having all that. But it's simply, what's going on? What's going on? How's business in 2025?
Yeah.
What is your goal? And you ask those type of questions to dig deep and find out what this person's problem is. And then it's still your guide to not over talk. It's still your job, rather, to listen and guide them to the next question. All you're doing is asking questions. So what are some questions that we like to ask?
What are your goals? What does your life look like in 5 years if things go really well for you? What do you most need right now? How's business and life going for you? More questions you ask, the more answers you get, the more clarity you have, but more importantly, the more certainty they have.
Boom.
And that is a game changer.
Ask them what's going through your mind. When you talk to them and you find out that they're going through a challenge, stick there for a little bit, right? You're going through a challenge. You don't want to cook breakfast anymore. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
What is breakfast doing to you? Right? Those 15 minutes, it's a lot.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you're making breakfast?
Hungry.
We don't have to be hungry anymore, Andrew.
I like that.
Right. You can ask questions. I know that wasn't a question, but you guide them through with questions. How does that make you feel? Like, I know how I feel when I'm hungry. Like, I can get hangry sometimes. Sometimes I can't even focus on work. Like, how do you feel though? Right. I'm also like, I'm getting that energy out of you so we can be on the same wavelength.
Yeah. There's
so much to sales. There's so much to questions, but it's all about guiding them where you want to guide them.
I feel like we could do like 7 episodes on this.
I think so too. There's so many great questions. What's going through your guys' mind? Let's just wait for like 10 minutes.
Just type in the chat.
Just type in the chat. What's going through your mind?
What's going through your mind?
Let us know.
Somebody's like, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too. I hope you guys have tea. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We gotta move on, huh?
Yeah, we're almost out of time.
Okay. Last three. Everyone's enjoying it. We're having a lot of fun. Who can tell me and Andrew just enjoy what we do? Type in the chat yes. And I want to get you guys to enjoy what you do on a daily basis. This is what this show is all about, is giving you guys the tactics, the mentalities, the strategies to be able to build a business, build a life that allows you to live in the way that you want to live, and doing the things that give you so much fulfillment, give you so much love on any given day. But let's go to number 6. 6? All right.
Reverse the risk. Type in the chat, reverse the risk. What does that mean? You often hear me say no risk, no goodies. What I mean by reversing the risk is realizing that, as Jim Rohn would say, it's all risky. But what is more risky?
risky?
It's exactly how he says it too. What's more risky? staying where we are or making a potential change. People often fear making the wrong decision, and it's our job to assist them in removing that fear, which means guiding them to the right decision. So to use the risk reversal, I constantly future pace them to a future of our solution versus without our solution. This is the secret sauce. What do
Should
you
we give it to him?
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. So with future pacing, we only take on people. You know, in real estate, of course, we're helping so many different individuals on any given day, and our team is consistently crushing it there. For our coaching, right, our consulting business, we take on very few clients every single year because we put so much time and energy into them. But we know we only work with the people that are a great fit for culture.
Right.
We know we only work with people who are incredibly coachable and that we would go to Portugal with.
Right.
Or we would go to Hawaii with for multiple days. And knowing that, it gives us the conviction. It gives us certainty to choose the right people. So for us, when we're doing a risk reversal, part of it is just making sure it's the right person.
Yeah.
And also the guarantee that we're able to give those people, right? If you don't hit X, we'll give you X or we'll keep working with you, right? Or we understand that the person that is on the other side has a vision for their life.
Right.
Our job is to get that vision out of them, right? By asking them questions like, you know, over the next 2 years as you work with us, what do you see happening for you? Like, what is going through your mind? What could be possible for you? And when you do that visualization, our job is to see, does it match what we want for them?
Right.
And what we could do for them, what we ethically could do for them.
Is it in alignment?
Is it in alignment? Now, how does this, Andrew, though, remove risk? How does it add certainty to the individual when we do that?
So number one is, again, being authentic. As we're authentic, we do truly only take on a handful of clients every single year. And so knowing that that is the absolute truth, we say it with certainty. And how we remove their risk is by they are no longer walking alone. And so when someone applies and gets accepted into one of our coaching or masterminds, what happens is they are no longer alone. And I realized that when I was doing the business alone, the risk of failure went through the roof because I didn't enjoy the business. I often felt lost. I was often taking action, doing busy work that was useless. And then when I got proper guidance from people who helped me, number one, to not be alone, proper community, and number two, from someone who has been there further down the road than we have, then I realized that takes the risk and changes it tremendously. The opportunity for success, of course, it still relies on the individual to put in the work, but the unknowns go away. So now there's known plus, market or sales or all of the other, still some pieces that may be unknown, but the likelihood of success goes up dramatically.
So this is where case studies come in.
Yep.
Testimonials, proof of other people's success. Because when we see, okay, if I'm working with a trainer, I want to see that all the people that he or she has worked with are jacked, or look good. Look at least to the way that I want to look, right?
Exactly.
And that's what we do. I just didn't tell you. I was Andrew's trainer. I didn't tell him how terrible of a trainer I was because everyone I worked with would throw up because I would push them I wouldn't work out with them, so I would push them to a level of them. I didn't tell Andrew that. So I didn't give him any case studies. However, when you're giving other people case studies, when you're showing them the people that have worked with you, for example, Kurt, when he worked with you, he got a $70K check.
Yeah.
Incredible.
$73,000.
$73,000 check. Mr. Prosperity, David Selvin, who has worked with us for probably 2 years.
Yeah.
In his first year,
did
$400,000
over. Yeah.
So those are our testimonials. And that gives you more certainty. That gives us more certainty in our product and what we do for you guys so that you can trust us on our call. When we're doing a call, then it's our job to say, hey, what is your vision? Where do you want to go? If you want to hit 10 million, we're not the guys for that. We're hitting our first 10 million. Yeah. If you want to go to 10 million, go to Grant, go to these guys, go to whoever. But if you want to get your first million, if you want to get your first 2, 3 million, we're your people because we know how to get you there. And that is the certainty in our voice because we've done it multiple times for ourselves, but also we've done it for other people. So it's a proven system.
Remember, people don't buy products. People buy solutions to their problems.
Absolutely.
And that is what you just framed up there. And again, it comes back to authenticity. Because imagine, been in business for 11 years, done the things we've done. Some people, they've been in business for 12 months and they're already telling you they can get you to 100 million. And you're going, wait a second, this ain't adding up. Except now you look at us and go, okay, I already liked and trusted the guys. That makes perfect sense. I like their authenticity. And now if you're already doing 10 million, trying to get to 100, that you're going to go find people who will help you get there. And if you're looking to get your first 1, 2, 3, several $1 million, you go, wait a second, I am in the right place.
Everyone type in the chat. Your time is now.
Your time is now.
This is number 7. Is it number 7? It is number 7.
Next to last.
Ethical urgency.
What does that mean?
Urgency moves people.
Yeah.
Right? People are passive sometimes. Sometimes people are scared. Sometimes people don't understand fully. However, urgency is what moves people, but it must be real.
Yeah.
Like real urgency. If I know that your house is on fire, if I'm a firefighter, I'm not going to wait because that fire is going to spread. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure to fight that fire. Same thing with sales. If you know that urgency is real, for example, me and Andrew, we only take a couple clients on every single month.
Yep.
Right? Sometimes 1, sometimes 2. Me and Andrew know that our pricing continues to go up.
Yep.
Right?
That's what it does.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. It will never be today's price. We'll continue to go. We continue to grow. We have the ability to raise our prices. So we also understand, hey, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
So that also creates this ethical urgency. We also understand, last thing, the longer you wait, the bigger the problem gets. If you are struggling right now with your mind, if you're struggling with discipline, if you're struggling with getting yourself to move on taking action, right? Struggling with execution. Imagine what the next 2 years is going to look like, right? If you don't take action on your life, you don't take action on your fitness, you don't take action on your mind, you don't take action on your calls, you don't take action at work, you don't take action on these things, your life is going to start to crumble.
Right.
It's not my job to say that. It's my job to let them tell me, hey, what happens? And no, I'm going to use it. Andrew, let's use Joey. Sorry if there's a Joey on here. Joey, what happens over the next 2 years if you don't take action on this?
Right.
If we don't solve this problem now, and I'm with you, we've built so much rapport. Joey, if we don't solve this problem now, what happens in 2 years? Like, walk me through that. What happens in 2 months if you don't solve this problem? We're creating ethical urgency because it is our ethical and moral responsibility to get them in, especially for our business, because we're changing people's lives on any given day, helping them take action, helping them execute in their business, helping them build better relationships. So if we let that fire spread, it's on us.
I want to give you a couple of quotes. Dan Kennedy, marketing genius. I love reading
He's a great guy.
his books. He says scarcity drives action. Make it real, make it ethical, and more people will move. Something Zig Ziglar often said is the longer they wait, the less likely they are to buy. Inaction or lack of clarity always breeds inaction. And for us, it's our job to show our people that we are serving the cost of waiting, the cost of inaction. Because what happens is, as humans, some of us are prone to extremes. Most of us probably. And being prone to extremes, some people extreme on the side of fast decision making, which can be good. And also, as you guys who are on that side of the fence know the goods and bads of that. And there's times to take action. Once you know that something's the right thing, then moving quickly is a must. And then there's people who err on the side of procrastination. And those people who err on the side of procrastination sometimes need a reminder, a urgency of why they should do something. I've seen some people sit on the fences, sit on the sidelines for 3, 5, and 10 years. I remember going to an event with someone in 2014, and I remember seeing them in 2017, 3 years later, and they were still considering buying their first property. And they're like, oh my goodness, I really should take action on this real estate thing. And I remember that because I'm sitting there, two people, same room, same information. One goes and buys hundreds of deals, and the other one sits there thinking they should get started one day.
That's right.
And so the only thing that gets us off of our backside sometimes and doing something is that urgency.
Now, as you guys get into this a little bit more, your job is to get people off the fence, even if it's on the no side. It's either yes or no. Your job is to get them off the fence. So typically, when I have someone who's straddling on the fence, I'll lead them towards a no. Hey, listen, we work with people who are action takers.
Yeah.
We work with people who are confident not only in yourself, but in us to be able to get you there. And I want to make sure over these 6 months rather, that I can get you to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it requires you to trust me. It requires you to take my hand and we'll go, we'll move. All right. We looked at your blueprint. We see exactly where we can take you. If we're going to move, we're going to move. If you're on the fence, we're going to stick towards a no. Yeah. And I'm going to guide you towards that no, because we're not going to stick on that fence. But it is your job to get them off that fence, or else they're going to stay on that fence for 9 years.
Yeah, I've seen people do that and some of you guys, I'm sure you've experienced that in some aspect of your life. I know I have. I was on the fence if I should work out and get healthier for like 6 years before I did something, until one day a brother cared enough to say, "You're fat.
Well,
get to the gym."
I was a little bit nicer than that.
I was slightly overweight and unhealthy. You only cared about my health.
That's all I said. I cared about you. I cared about your well-being. I cared about your ability to attract the amazing person that you wanted to attract. All these great things.
Yes.
Which leads us
to the last one.
And we're just going to sit for a moment and silence is one of the most important closing tools that you can ever utilize. And a lack of silence is what kills most deals.
Brian Tracy said the best salespeople know when to shut up.
That's right. Most people, they talk themselves out of this sale.
Yeah.
They overtalk and they make the offer and they try to justify it.
Yeah.
However, we understand. We make the offer and we shut up.
Yeah, that's powerful.
So let's talk about that a little bit more as we wrap up here. Why do we put silence as the last one?
Silence is powerful. And this, something I read says confidence is quiet, but desperation is loud. I've seen people get into the business. They go to sell and they make the sale. And the person is trying to say yes. But because of the person making the sale's insecurity or concern or fear, they talk themselves out of that sale. I remember someone years ago, I was helping buy a house, and I said, when do you get them to agree to the purchase price and the monthly payment, your last question is, usually we buy with nothing down, okay? Just like that. And I bought so many properties with nothing down asking that question. And they got on the phone, they said, usually we buy with nothing down, but if we do put something down, how much would you need? I said, what are you doing? They said, I said we usually buy with nothing down. I said, you forgot the next part. Shut up. And so understanding that silence is golden. Silence is the deal maker. Confidence is often silent. And if you know what you are offering this person is a game changer, there's nothing wrong with sitting in silence and letting them sit in silence. That is a powerful game changer for you. So don't be afraid to shut up. Don't be afraid to stop talking and let the person make a decision. I literally have seen people that the only thing between them and making a sale was that they kept talking. And they started raising objections that weren't even an objection. And most salespeople in the early stages talk themselves out of many deals where if they just shut up, the sale would have already been made.
So after you make the offer, just mute the phone. Right? Is that Andrew, you said that you wanted this cook to come every Wednesday. How are you feeling about it?
Good.
Good. $2,500 for 3 months, and I feel good about it. I know it's going to change your life. Feel good about it?
Yeah.
Let's move forward, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
That was a bad example because there was no place for silence there, but what I want you guys to try is when you ask someone a question, allow yourself to sit back and just listen. Because silence is not just at the end of the sale when you're making the offer. Silence is also a moment of time for the other person to be deciding, to be thinking, to be processing. And you want to give the other person time to process. But so many times we can't deal with silence. I couldn't deal with silence for so long. I was such an awkward person. So I always had to deal with silence. I always had to fill the silence up. And I would mess up so many sales. I would mess up so many conversations. Now I err on the side of silence, where if I'm going to use my voice, I'm going to know what I'm saying. And if I'm going to speak, I'm going to guide us in a certain direction. When you're at a dinner table, when you're on stage, when you're in a conversation one-on-one, use silence as much as you possibly can, because that's the 80-20. 80% is listening. 20%, I'm just waiting. I'm here. I'm with you.
That is a good example of exactly how to guide someone to the needed outcome to change their life.
Yes. So we went over 8 elements to get to the yes. This was a masterclass. This was an art of sales, an art of closing, as we call it, the science of closing. And I'm happy you guys were with us.
You're going to want to go back and rewatch this a few times. Probably send it to your friends, because this strategy, this framework, and it's so much more. Like I think we could go another 6 hours here.
We can.
But this framework will help you and help your friends and help the people around you transform their lives and the lives of the people that they are helping. Selling is serving. If you sell a good product, if you sell a good service, if you sell something that is powerful and has the ability to transform people's lives, selling is the highest level of serving you could ever do. Because to let someone get off the phone without the sell, to let someone make the decision to wait another 6 years after the last 6 years of waiting, is to do them a great disservice.
So if there's anything you can do this year, it is to learn sales. It is to continually master this idea of sales, because it does not just impact your bank account. It impacts everything else. But when you impact your bank account, as you're making an additional $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 every single month, it's going to help every other area of your life. So guys, we are going to be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, 3 p.m. Eastern time. This is the Truca Show. Me and Andrew are just here to share as much game with you as possible. And make sure that you're here. Continue writing in the chat. Share this with your friends. This show is free. We spend a lot of money and time on this and come up with 200% energy every time, as much as we can. But all we ask of you is to share it with a friend, share it with someone that really needs it or wants to change, develop, grow in their lives.
Thanks for being here, guys. We are diving right in, month and a half, almost 2 months into this year. Time is flying by. We have so much more to share, so make sure you're sharing this out with your friends and family. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time.